on top of Greenwood, and Manchester United are looking at wingers to replace them. And Doy and Doué is two players they've approached and had contact with, but also they could be doing a 25 million deal for Zirkzee, which could lower the Sancho fee. That's being discussed with Juventus, according to reports. Mason Greenwood deal is off. There could be some storm. No, the Mason Greenwood deal might be off. It's not off, but it could be off. There's a few issues going about with the Mason Greenwood deal. Zirkzee to Manchester United, some more advancement info on that deal, which will be done, but we're going to talk about why it's not done yet. Update on that. De Ligt, apparently we're going to get a De Ligt here we go tomorrow, according to one source, but that source, take it with a pinch of salt. The news on De Ligt, interestingly, is very, very close, but Ineos are waiting on one thing, and that is Leny Yoro. Now, interestingly, Ineos are having a plan to try and convince Leny Yoro to choose Man United over Madrid. If Yoro chooses Man United over Madrid, aka if Yoro can agree personal terms with United, the deal is done. We have got Leny Yoro. Now, Ineos have presented a very strong offer to Leny Yoro, a verbal offer, which includes things that Real Madrid haven't given him, like game time, because, you know, the idea of Mena and Garnacho playing such a big role, the fact that we want you now, we're not making you wait like Madrid. Ineos have a plan to make the statement signing of the summer. You know, taking someone away from Newcastle, Dan Ashworth, that was a statement. Taking Barada away from City was a statement. But taking someone that is set on Real Madrid to come and join your project when you've not been very good the last 10 years is a real statement. And we're going to talk about Ineos' plan to get Leny Yoro in and why there could be a twist in events as well. I need to stop saying Leny Yoro. I keep saying Euro. I can't say it. Euro. I can't say it. It just makes it sounds like I'm saying Euro. I just can't say his name properly. Okay, I can't. Like, it just, my mouth won't do it. More updates on Ugarte, more updates on more. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Let's talk about all the news. Desiree Doué incoming, I wish, but there has been some advancements on that. There was a report going out today, interestingly, that we'd made a bid for Desiree Doué, but I haven't included that in today's video because it wasn't exactly the most credible source. So I just thought, well, I've never heard of this source. He's claiming we've made a bid for Doué. I feel like Romano or Ornstein or someone credible would know if we made a bid for Doué rather than this guy with 3,000 followers on Twitter. But let's talk about sales. So, Facundo Pellistri is seeking a move away from Manchester United this summer. Whether that is on loan or permanent, we'll have to see. But we know that Man United are looking to offload Pellistri this summer. Chris Wheeler said that, and other sources that I've got up in previous videos have said Man United plan to sell Pellistri. Manchester United would like to offload Pellistri permanent. Pellistri is open to leaving United. There is clubs in Spain, Europe, and also South America interested in buying Pellistri. Nothing will happen until after Copa America, but he's had a good Copa America. He's young, he's on low wages. United are hoping to get around £15 million for Pellistri, which I think is pretty fair when you look at Minter going for like £30 million from Newcastle to Brighton, and he'd had 1.5 season at Feyenoord, well, a whole season at Feyenoord. Now, who could be our options? Because it's now being said and reported that Man United are probably going to sign a right winger with maybe £25 to £35 million available in that budget. That is just the general report. That there's 25 million to 35 million on the right wing budget. But if we can offload Pellistri on top of Sancho and Greenwood, that could go up to 60 million, which is probably the plan for Elise. Offload these 3 players, get Elise in. He's gone to Bayern. That's not going to happen. Now, according to Gazzetta, which is one of the more reliable Italian sources, they said just now, breaking, Zirkzee could end up as part of a deal for Sancho to go to Juventus. Now, this isn't the first time it's been reported. Now, I've always said with these reports, particularly Italian media, always take a little bit of the information coming about, particularly from Italian media, with a pinch of salt. I'd take Zirkzee over Anthony any day. I would, but I think there's better options out there. I actually prefer Sule of Juventus, if I'm going to be honest. Gayan says Pellistri, I don't blame him for wanting out. The manager has treated him so badly. I hope favourites stop. Look, I think you have to choose between Pellistri and Ahmad. I think Ahmad is the better player. Would I rather Pellistri play than Anthony? Yes. But we can't sell Anthony, we can sell Pellistri, we need to make a bit of money. None of them are viewed as good as Ahmad, Garnacho, Rashford. We believe we could get a better winger in. That's what we've got to do with Pellistri. Do I mind Pellistri staying? No issue with that at all. But there's an opportunity to sell him. I would sell him because I'd rather those minutes go to Ahmad, and I don't want Pellistri sitting on his career, sitting on the bench, wasting his career. Pellistri wants to leave Manchester United. Sancho wants to leave Manchester United. Greenwood will leave Manchester United. Sancho will leave Manchester United. Pellistri should leave Manchester United. Now, apparently there's reports, and this has been reported multiple times, but recently today by more credible sources, about Zirkzee potentially being part of a swap deal with Sancho. But that would be maybe they give us 15 million plus Gazea for Sancho. Now, I would push for Sule. I actually prefer Matthias Sule. But this is one to keep an eye on because more credible sources saying, while he's not top of United's list, this is one to keep an eye on. Now, what's interesting is Alfredo Padella, if I said his name right, he was saying that Sancho rejected other clubs because he's waiting for Juventus. So that would suggest that Sancho has been told by Juventus personally that they're going to go for him and going to make a move for him. Apparently, Sancho's been told by Juventus they're going to make a move for him. Some sources saying that Juventus are going to do a loan with no obligation to buy, where they'll pay 5 million to bring him in and then a 30 million loan fee. So a 5 million loan fee to bring him in, then a 30 million obligation to buy if he's good enough, which would be 35 million for Sancho in total. And considering he saved about 5 million with him going to Dortmund, I guess we get 40 million for Sancho overall in the last year and a bit, which is the package we want. I still think we could get 40 million for Sancho, but I think the fact that he's not training, apparently, according to a source, and he's been told not to come back to training, I'm not sure if that's true. And it doesn't seem to be massively in the plans. I do think there's definitely potential for Sancho to go. I will dive more into the live chat in a second, but I do want to get into the news because I want to get into the Euro news. I want to get into the De Ligt news. I want to get into the Braithwaite news. I want to get into a lot of stories as well. If Fundo was special, we would see it when he was on loan. Look, he's a good player, but he gives off Andres Pereira vibes, where he's a good player, but I can see him playing for a Premier League club and doing well at a Premier League club, but not a Champions League club. Do you know what I'm saying? He never really got a proper chance, to be fair. We actually played Pereira for a few games, and Pereira was a good player, but you just knew he wasn't quite United level. Whereas this guy never really got a chance because of Anthony. But I just think that Ahmad out of the two, and Ahmad's also 2 years younger than him. I think Pellistri's 23 now. Let me actually Google Pellistri's age. Pellistri age. Pellistri is 22. So he's not like a kid anymore. It's not 18 anymore as well. But let's dive into the next few stories. So, what is being said on the potential of Ndoye to Manchester United? It was said that Dan Ndoye's agent has revealed that Manchester United are in pole position to sign the Switzerland forward. Man United have also approached Desiree Doué this week and plan to make a move for the player once they offload Sancho. It was then said exclusive Manchester United have held initial talks with a representative of French wonderkid Desiree Doué. A formal approach could be made in the coming weeks. Ineos are eager to act quickly to avoid losing out in competition, with PSG and Arsenal showing interest. Now, this was said about 2 weeks ago by Academy Scoop. It's now coming out today that we're making another approach for Desiree Doué because we feel that Sancho will be sold, Pellistri could be sold. But we also know that Chelsea and Tottenham are looking at that deal, and so are PSG. There'll be competition. Now, I don't know what's going on with Ndoye. I've not heard anything come from Ornstein or Romano on that, or anyone I'm familiar with. The Sun, and I'm going to say, the reason I'm a bit sceptical on the Ndoye news is it's being pushed by the Sun. Ndoye had a good Euros. Switzerland are out the Euros. We've obviously got a good relationship with Bologna. He obviously played for a Nice club before he was at Bologna. An Ineos own club before he was at Bologna. So I get there's some Ineos interest there, and he's a versatile player and he's cheap. There is reports saying that we're in pole position to sign Ndoye, but again, it is coming from the Sun. And I've always said with bits of information that come from the Sun, I don't know, but I know we have an interest in Desiree Doué. We know we have an interest in Desiree Doué, and considering that Ineos have got smart people in and Desiree Doué is a fantastic baller with bags of potential, it doesn't take a genius to figure out we probably would have interest in Desiree Doué, like we do with Leny Yoro. Not sure about the Ndoye, I'm not sure about the Gazea, but there is now increasing reports from Italy that we're going to do a 25 million deal for Gazea, which would be the replacement for Sancho, so we'd only get 10 million from Juventus to Sancho, and then we get 35 million in total. I don't know about that one. If I'm going to be honest, I think it is Ugarte, Zirkzee, 2 centre-backs, which will be 2 of the 3 of Euro De Ligt, Braithwaite. I think we get 2 of them, 2 of Euro De Ligt, Braithwaite. I think we get Ugarte. I think we get Zirkzee. Yusuf Fofana has agreed personal terms with Milan, so I'm assuming we don't get Yusuf Fofana, which may mean Amrabat could come in as a second midfielder. We're looking at left-backs. Cheap left backs on the market. Maybe we'll make an approach for Reguilon. I think we'll leave left back to deadline day, to be honest, because I think we know we've got left backs, but we want someone on the cheap. The problem is, Man United do want to sign another attacker. That has been said by The Athletic. They do want to sign another forward. They do want to sign another attacker. Now I think they want Doué, but I don't know how long Doué will be available for, and I don't think we'll act quick because we have positions that we view as priority over right wing. We know we need a winger, but it is 5th priority. There's 4 signings we want to do before we bring in a winger, which again is I think why we missed out on Elise. Until we sell, we can't make that move. And once Greenwood's out the door, if he's out the door, because There's reportedly some delays on that. I think we will bring in a winger as well. Alice, did you see the news about your dream signing for Fofana? Yeah, I always said we should go for Yusuf Fofana, about 20 million quid, 25 million quid. I think he'd be perfect for us. He's agreed to join AC Milan. But remember, I was crying about a month ago that Zirkzee had agreed personal terms with Milan, and now we're going to get Zirkzee. So you never know. You never know what happened with Fofana as well. So let's dive into it because there's so much news to get into in story. So obviously there's reports coming out that potentially the Greenwood deal could be off. In the last few hours, Marseille's negotiations with Mason Greenwood have slowed down due to the mayor's comments. Lazio are hoping to take advantage of the situation while Marseille is still trying to convince Greenwood. Considering Lazio's president was chatting absolute shite about Greenwood 2 days ago because he was annoyed that Greenwood rejected him for Marseille, he might have spoke too soon because he might have an opportunity to get Greenwood because he can't go to Marseille. Now, look, you can't blame Marseille's mayor for saying what he said. It's just annoying because we had quite a good deal. 26 million pound, 50% sell-on clause. It's a bit annoying because we need to get that deal done through because that money will go towards bringing someone else in. So hopefully that speeds up as well. Romano always said Stefano was going elsewhere, not United. I know we liked him a year ago, but this season it slowed down a little bit as well. We should give Amad and Pellistri a proper chance. I think we can only give one of them a chance, and I would choose Amad. Doué's good, but he'd be expensive. It was confirmed by a good French source that Rennes will sell for £34 million, which is 40 million euros, and they'd start that price tag on him as well. Alex B says a creative winger is needed, need to improve the chance creation. I agree. I think a creative winger would be a really good addition at United. I think with Zirkzee coming in, it's great to have players like Rashford and Garnacho running off him. But for Højlund's sake, we need a creative winger, and then we can have two different sort of ideas to do an attack, two different ways we can attack, which can make us less predictable and better as a team as well. Any watch-alongs in pre-season? I'll do watch-alongs maybe for some of the games. It just depends because obviously there's 2 a.m, 3 a.m s. I'm also on holiday for a little bit, so it depends on the Wi-Fi and all of that as well when I'm on holiday and that kind of stuff. So I want to get into the Zirkzee news, and then I'm going to get into De Ligt news, and then I'm going to get into the Euro news, and then I'm going to get into a few other stories, guys. But if you have not already, please do go ahead and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Florian Plettenberg, who's a tier 1 source of information, said if De Ligt was to leave Bayern Munich, the only club he wants to go to is Manchester United. So he really wants to come to Manchester United, apparently, as well, which is just a story that's come out now. And it said that United are now going to meet Bayern Munich's 42 million price tag for Matthijs De Ligt. And that's going to advance, but they've also made the same amount of money offer for Leny Yoro. So let's quickly talk about this story, and then we'll talk about other news. Are we lagging? No, we're not lagging. Sorry, I thought I lagged a bit there. So what has been said on Zirkzee? What is the latest on Zirkzee? So it was said the negotiations between Bologna and United is about the distribution of the fee. The United board wants to spread the 40 million euro transfer fee over several instalments rather than doing it at once because of FFP. Financial fair play plans a very important role in this. The club is acting within limits of what is permitted because Zirkzee is to receive a 5-year contract that runs until 2029. So what Man United are trying to do is they have the money for Zirkzee, they're willing to pay the fee, but they just want to structure the fee into instalments, which means it could allow us to spend a little bit more money this summer like Chelsea do. And we've done that anyway with other transfers like Sancho, just to help us, in the eyes of FFP, get the deal done, split up and over the line, which makes sense as well. I don't understand the rumour about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't think United are interested in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, considering if we get Zirkzee and Højlund is enough for me to be our 2 strikers. Worst case scenario, you play Rashford there. You play Bruno there as false 9. That worked in the FA Cup final. I don't think we need to go and buy Dominic Calvert-Lewin for extra depth. I'd rather us sign a winger. For me, Zirkzee and a winger. I don't want Zirkzee and another striker. I want Zirkzee and a winger. That's what I want. Someone said Inacio Mars better than Branthwaite. Inacio can play left back and mirror what Martinez does, but if Martinez stays fit all season and Luke Shaw stays fit all season, which is unlikely, there's no point in signing Inacio because he can't play next to Martinez and then he'd be on the bench. I think that's what Ineos' logic is with them liking Branthwaite a little bit more. But the fact that they had talks with Inacio, they had approaches for Hancho as well, but that shows that they do have generally good alternatives for Branthwaite if it does not go through as well. The main budget looks to be going towards Branthwaite though, absolutely. So that's what was said on Zirkzee. So what is the latest on Matthijs De Ligt? It was said that Manchester United had taken a big step towards signing Matthijs De Ligt and are now willing to meet Bayern Munich's £42 million plus bonuses asking price. United want to complete the signing of De Ligt as soon as possible, and nothing is expected to stand in the way of the deal happening very soon. It was said an agreement for the signing of De Ligt is getting closer. So, Pellistri and Pellistri build a lot of good sources of information are coming out saying that De Ligt United is getting closer. We're going to pay 42 million for him. So it's gone up from 34 to 42 million. I think 42 million is the most I paid for him. And that nothing's standing in the way because De Ligt only wants United, is what Florian Plettenberg saying. Now, there is reports saying that De Ligt could stall if we get Leny Yoro in, or we could be signing both De Ligt and Leny Yoro. But I know that we've always wanted Braithwaite, and we've not given up on Braithwaite yet because apparently we're going to put in a third bid for Braithwaite. So are we going to sign 3 centre-backs? Could us advancing on De Ligt be a sign of Yoro's told us he wants Madrid? That is the one thing that you've got to keep an eye on. But reports are coming in of an advancement on Matthijs De Ligt. Guys, we're only 32 likes away from 200 likes. If you have not already, please do go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And of course, subscribe down below if you're new. I go live every single morning around 8:45, and then I do live streams around 5 p.m. in the evening talking about all the latest Manchester United news on the channel. So if that sounds like your thing, make sure you stay up to date. And then around 10 p.m. at night, I do something called the late night transfer roundup, where if you don't have time to tune into live streams, or you don't have much time but you've got 10 minutes free, I just round up all the relevant news that happened in the last 24 hours, or less than that, the last sort of 6-7 hours, and I round it up into a 10-minute video so you're up to date as well. So stay tuned for that tonight. It could be out later though. It will be out after the England game as well. Euro's going to Madrid, plain simple. We know the kid wants to go there, but it's not totally ruled out. Obviously, Yoro tweeted about the, Yoro called out the fake tweet about him and Man United. So, he didn't like that people were tweeting that he didn't want to go to Manchester United. We know that Man United have given him, more guaranteed game time than Real Madrid, and Lille are pushing him to join United. So let's talk about Leny Yoro. Oh no, we got one more story. An agreement for the signing of Matthijs De Ligt is getting closer. They're now willing to meet Bayern's price. I've read that one out. So what has been said on Leny Yoro today, and why could he be on his way to United as Ineos' statement signing? It was said this: Man United already have an agreement with Lille to sign Yoro for around £38 million. Now, these are very good sources of information saying £38 million. If Leny Yoro is £38 million and Everton wants £70 million for Braithwaite, we might as well stick our middle fingers up at Everton and say, look, we could got that. United are aware that Yoro's preference is to play for Madrid, but hope to force Lille's hand with their more substantial bid. Now, this is where it gets interesting in regards to Yoro to United. This is where we get some developments in regards to Leny Yoro potentially being on his way to Manchester United. Now, Ineos want to make a statement, and the biggest statement they can make is bringing in Leny Yoro. They want to make a big point about the whole situation. So, this is sort of one of the ways they could go about it. This was said by Stephen Railstone. He said Lisandro Martinez is the only guaranteed starter in central defence in the new campaign, and the starting role alongside him could be promised to Leny Yoro. That would be a significant verbal offer to Yoro, considering Yoro's age and that United are making progress in the deal for Matthijs De Ligt, but it could be enough to tip the scales away from the Madrid transfer. Man United are presenting the Ineos project to Real Madrid. Now, Manchester United have had contact with Yoro's agent, and from the contact they've had with Yoro's agent, they believe that Yoro could be open to going to United if he thinks Madrid aren't going to make a move this summer. Man United have got enough encouragement for Yoro's agent that they could potentially convince him to go, and he's 90, he wants Real Madrid, that's his dream, but unlike Mbappe, he's not set on Real Madrid. It doesn't have to be Real Madrid. Now, what Man United is saying is, well, we got enough indication that we can convince Yoro to join, so that is why we've made a bid. Man United wouldn't go out of their way to make a bid that they know Lille would accept if Leny Yoro wasn't going to come to them. That's Frankie Young 2.0. It takes a while to plan, structure, and organise bids. It takes a while. So the fact that United have done that and put that time into it, they must have had some kind of element of indication from Yoro's agent he wants to come. Leny Yoro himself is getting annoyed at Twitter accounts saying he doesn't want to come to United. There's something there. Like, he wants Real Madrid for sure. But if Real Madrid aren't going to move for him, which he's going to find out, he may go to United, because what United think is, well, we're going to present the Ineos project, but what we can give him that Real Madrid can't is we're going to say you're more likely to play. You're more likely to play regular games if you come to us. Madrid will say, look what we've done with Varane, look at the unsustainability around United, but United might be thinking, well, this is what we could do. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this in more detail. It's still been said that Real Madrid remain confident of winning the race for Leny Yoro because of the player's desire to play for them, despite the fact that Madrid have not yet tabled a formal offer to sign him and are hoping to make a deal with Lille for a slightly lesser sum. Man United has made a proposal to Leny Yoro and Lille wants him to join. It's up to him. United will not wait for him forever. Lille are now pushing Leny Yoro to join. Man United received positive engagement from Leny Yoro's agent, who will now get a bigger commission. Lille and Leny Yoro's agent are pushing him to join United. Madrid have given no guarantee that they're going to put in the bid that they want. So that means Leny Yoro could stay another year at Lille and run down his contract and upset those at Lille and get his dream move to Madrid, or he could go to United. He's also guaranteed more game time at United. Now, Ineos is presenting a verbal offer to say, we're going to give you game time. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be loved. You're going to be the star. Real Madrid have got loads of superstars, but if you come here, you'll be the star. Look how the fan base is reacting to bringing in Leny Yoro. So it's now being said that, there's an increasing chance of Leny Yoro coming in. And Florian Plettenberg, who I'd say is a good source of information, I've always thought that Florian Plettenberg is a good source of information, said that Leny Yoro has not made a decision between United and Real Madrid yet. It's always felt he favours Madrid, but he's not said to United, he's not turned around to United and said, I want Madrid. He's not said that. He's thinking, he's considering, he's now weighing up Man United or Madrid. He's considering it. He's not made that decision. That Leny Yoro is having a really serious consideration as well. It was said by Florian Plettenberg right now that he's not made a decision whether to join United or Madrid yet. Now, those on Stratford Paddock said that Man United got suggestions that Leny Yoro would be open to joining them as well. And if Leny Yoro is open to joining Man United, he'll be on his way to United because the bid is accepted. That is agreed. All they need is Leny Yoro's approval. Now, De Ligt is desperate to come to United. He'd love to join us. But Leny Yoro, that is the big question mark. But he's not made his decision. And apparently he's still considering Man United's offer. And he's being pushed to accept United's offer as well. So it'll be interesting. Do I think he'll probably go to Real Madrid? Yes. But do I think I'm deluding myself to thinking there's a chance to bring in Leny Yoro? Absolutely. I dream of it. So I think he still will probably go to Madrid, if I'm going to be totally honest for you. But you don't know, because Real Madrid will have a path for him. Militao injury-prone, Alaba aging, injury-prone, Nacho left. There's definitely a path for him at Real Madrid. And I also think Real Madrid will say, look, we're going to go for you in August. Stay. I think Real Madrid, now that bid's accepted, will be in communication with Euro. And if Real Madrid really want Euro, and if Real Madrid really plan on signing Euro this summer, they'll be having communication with him to tell him that. It's almost impossible to hijack a Real Madrid deal. They have impossible pull. The incredible pull, yeah. Leny Yoro is the dream. In all honesty, Man United have a plan. They want to make a statement by signing him, but I think he'll go to Madrid. Euro will most likely stay at Lille and then choose next year, being more experienced, start at a big club as well. Yeah, and that's the worry. That is the worry, because competing with Real Madrid is hard. What did I say about Olmo? Dani Olmo was a player that I hadn't thought much about, but wow, he's probably been up there for player of the tournament. He could be player of the tournament. He's been unbelievable. So what else is going about in Manchester United news? Mitchell van der Gaag has left Manchester United, and Ruud van Nistelrooy's arrival is 100% done, was confirmed today by Romano, and United is still in talks with Jonny Evans about extending his Old Trafford stay. So these are other news stories going about. These are ones to watch. Again, not sure what exactly is going to go on with that, but I think Jonny Evans could go. Considering we've made bids for so many centre-backs, we're in talks for so many centre-backs, I don't know if we're going to keep Jonny Evans as well. Big up, guys. Nearly 1,000 people watching, guys, so please do go ahead and hit that like button. And as Diego said, guys, can we go for 500 likes? If half of you guys watching right now hit that like button, we could hit the 500 like target, which would be brilliant. And Ndoye, Manchester United apparently in pole position to sign Ndoye. That was a report coming out, but that has come out from The Sun as well. Just tell the Leny lad, come here for 3 years, maybe you'll like it. If not, we'll let you leave for Madrid. Could do that, although that's not a very long-term project, which Ineos say they are as well, and ambitious. I need Olmo at United. Olmo has always been a silky class, super technical centre-attacking midfielder. Like, I knew who Olmo was, but he wasn't a player that's caught my eye. You know, there's a player that catches your eye in the Euro, so I knew who Calafiore was, and I've been speaking about Calafiore for a while. He seemed to have caught everyone's eye in the Euros. The player that's caught my eye throughout this Euro tournament is Dani Olmo. I mean, I think he's been absolutely fantastic, Dani Olmo. I really do think it is. So Interesting. Florian Plettenberg is suggesting there's still a chance for Leny Yoro to go to United. He's not made his mind up. He's not made a decision. He's not told United he only wants Madrid. So that I take that as a positive there. That's just come out now as well. We need to offload Maguire, says Kaylee Farmer. Well, remember, it was reported, I think, by the Mirror. I can't remember who said it, that Dan Ashworth and Ten Hag had made it clear that they don't want Maguire in the plans, and Maguire will be told he's free to leave, and Maguire will not have a prominent role next season, which may push him to leave if he wants to get his spot back in the England team, because Gay is going to take his place and he's not guaranteed game time at United. West Ham apparently still have interest in Maguire, but they spent a lot of money on Max Kilman, so who knows? But apparently West Ham are still interested in Todbo, but maybe they'll put that money on Maguire. There was actually a report that came out that Newcastle United had some interest in Maguire, but it came out from a less reliable source. I think, considering he's only 2 years younger than Shah, I think Newcastle will be looking for a more younger player. But Man United are hoping to offload Maguire and Lindelof. It's believed that Lindelof is the more likely to leave out of the two, because Lindelof is going to be a more affordable price as well. Wan-Bissaka update. Man United are expecting West Ham to put in a bid for Wan-Bissaka, and Man United are willing to sell Wan-Bissaka, but only for the right price. They don't mind keeping him for another year, but because he's got 1 year left on his contract and they don't want to lose him for like nothing next year, they would probably be interested in selling Wan-Bissaka as well. We need a right wing. Desiree Doué is predominantly a left wing, and Doy and Kazay are being looked at as well. Now, actually, there was an interesting report that came out, and it came out last week, actually, and that was that apparently we'd actually made contact with Bakayoko. But it wasn't said by the most reliable source, but because it was a small journalist, but apparently that journalist has good connections to PSV. And that is that we made an approach, like a little approach, or we just inquired about Bakayoko. But that's not really been reported. So I don't know what to say on that, to be honest. But that could be potentially something interesting, but I wouldn't deep that much too much. I've seen a bit of Nico Williams, but Euro's really highlighting how explosive a player is. Sadly, he wants crazy wages. If Nico Williams had normal wages, I would have been all over that. Nico Williams and Elise were my top two, and I went with Elise just because of Williams' wages. But if Nico Williams' wages were not the wages they were, I'd be all over that. I think he would only cost £43 million because of his release clause, but I think he is going to Barcelona as well. Ugarte is monitored by Man City. I just laugh at United funny negotiations. We need to wrap the Ugarte deal up before City takes him off our nose. I think, to be fair, I'm going to be honest, I think we can get Ugarte over City, okay? Hear me out. Okay, City have won the Premier League. City have been better than us for the last 10 years. But do City, despite winning the league, have a better pool than Man United? No. And do you know why? Do you know why I think Ugarte will choose Manchester United over City? And this isn't me being a biased Man United fan. City have the whole FFP case around them. City could go down, City could get relegated, and that could happen probably in the next 18 months. So joining City is a risk, because all of a sudden that club could be in trouble. They don't have massive pull, they don't have a big fan base, and it's not a club that any player really dreamed of playing for growing up. Man United, Ugarte probably would have known a lot growing up, Man City probably not. So you've got to look at it. Man City court case, yes, they've won a lot of things, but Man City court case, Manchester City aren't as big a club as United. The third thing, again, is that if he goes to Man City, he's competing with Rodri. He's not going to play over Rodri. If he goes to United, he's competing with Casemiro. If he stays, he's unlikely to stay, so he's got a starting spot. He didn't have a good spell at PSG, so he'll want to go somewhere where he knows he's going to get game time. He won't get that at City. He could be the next Calvin Phillips if he goes to City. If I'm Ineos, I say, you want to go to City, Ugarte, you could be the next Calvin Phillips. That club could be in the Championship next season when they get relegated, and that club's got no fans, and Pep Guardiola's leaving at the end of the season, and Pep Guardiola's a possession-based manager like Enrique, and you did not work there. You would work better in Ten Hag's system. So despite City being linked to Ugarte, I am very confident that he'll go to us. And as Alex said, he suits us more. His strengths make up what we lack. And Rice rejected Man City as well for Arsenal. Now, Man City aren't doing much transfer business, are they? Man City aren't doing a lot in the transfer window. Is that because they're not having much luck, because people are wary of the FFP situation? Is it because they're already so stacked, or is it because they're going to wait until later as well? Antonio Silva, a month ago, was a desired option for Man United. Apparently a month ago, Man United was seriously considering Antonio Silva, but they've moved to other options now. And I like Antonio Silva, but I think when Benfica were asking for like 70 million for him, that was a lot as well. We've got updates coming in on Ugarte to United that I want to get into, guys. This is just a story that's come out just now. Bear with me a sec. Just now this has come out. on Ugarte here. It was said just now that there are talks about the deal structure for Manuel Ugarte. Maybe it's a loan with an option to buy, maybe it's permanent, but Florian Plettenberg is saying right now there's talks about a deal structure in regards to Manuel Ugarte to United, which is interesting. Manchester United's pursuit of Manuel Ugarte is opening the door for PSG to sign João Neves. Jules Mendes is the agent of both deals, and Neves is PSG's priority target. That is the worry, but as much as I like João Neves, we can't afford to bring him in this summer. We've got to split the budget. 115 charges needs to be sorted out first, exactly, which I think helps us get Ugarte. I think Ugarte and Mena could work very well, and I feel Ugarte might be on loan. I think there's a possibility. The Athletic, a very credible outlet, did report that there's an increasing possibility that Ugarte would join United on loan. This is obviously what's being said now, that there are talks about the deal structure for Manuel Ugarte. Maybe it's a loan with an option to buy, maybe it's permanent. But the Athletic, who again very credible, said that, Ugarte and Man United could happen on loan. Now, we know from Fabrizio Romano, Ugarte has given the green light to Man United, and he's told Man United he wants to come, and PSG have told Man United, you can have him, we want to sell him. He's not in Enrique's plan. So everything that we need to be done for Ugarte is done. We just need to agree a structure with PSG. Essentially, De Ligt wants to come. He's desperate to come. Once we agree a fee with buying, De Ligt is a Man United player. Zirkzee is already agreed to join. His agent's already sorted it out. Once we agree the structure of the fee with Bologna, Zirkzee is a Man United player. Boom. Ugarte wants to come. He hasn't agreed personal terms like the other players yet, but he's given the green light. PSG want to sell him. Once we agree the structure of the deal, we'll agree personal terms with Ugarte, which will not be an issue. He'll be a Man United player. If Leny Yoro decides, I want Man United, he'll be a Man United player. If Jared Branthwaite's price gets lowered to 55 million, he'll be a Man United player. If Man United can sell Greenwood, Sancho, and Pellistri, there will be another attacker coming in. Man United will look to sign a left back. There's lots of things that could happen, could be happening as well. So that is quite exciting as well. We're 43 likes away from 400 likes, guys. So please do go ahead and hit that like button if you have not already as well. Ugarte adds legs, bite, and defensive stability, all of which we lack 100%. Ugarte, for me, would be a very good addition to United just because he's good at winning the ball back. Yes, he has limitations on the ball, but Kobbie Mainoo is very good on the ball. And if he had Martinez and De Ligt behind him who are good on the ball, those limitations narrow. He's not like the best in the air, but he's 6 foot. He's got a decent aerial presence, which will help. But I think Ugarte's ability at winning back the ball, breaking up play, doing the dirty work will really allow to get the best out of Mainoo, because we're seeing Mainoo next to Rice looking like England's best player as well. Also, actually, there was a report coming out today by Sam C Reports, and he said that the Saudi clubs will know their budget in the next few days, so expect Saudi deals to advance next week. So there could be expectation that Casemiro exit could advance next week as well. Need to sort De Ligt. That's a bargain for that level of player. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of De Ligt at first, but if it's going to be a £40 million deal, considering what Max Kilman went for, £40 million, and De Ligt is 24, and that he's willing to lower his wages to join us, I think De Ligt is looking like a bargain of a deal. Ugarte loan may be game changer. I think if we can get Ugarte on loan, that would give us the funds to spend an extra 30 million elsewhere in the window, which could be on the second midfielder or bring in Amrabat in on top of Ugarte just to have that depth. Because I still think we need 2 additions in midfield. Weaver's gone, Fofana's gone. I still think we need a player that's a little bit more comfortable on the ball just to bump up that midfield, because Mason Mount is very injury prone and we need to be able to rotate and protect Kobbie Mainoo. We can't, as brilliant as he is, we can't play him every game. Branthwaite not desperate for, seems a bit overpriced this summer. Now, one report is saying that Branthwaite's going to push for the United move, but maybe United said, look, we're going to make a higher bid, just wait. I think once Man United make a 55 million bid, I think Branthwaite will push, because they'll say that's a reasonable bid and they're not going to go higher. But he's not massively pushing. He's not done what Anthony did and refused to play and really push for the move. He's not massively pushing for the move as well. So hopefully Branthwaite will push more and more for a potential Manchester United move as well. I'm just checking to see if we've got any news coming in as well. Romano has said some stuff, but none of it is to do with Man United. Will we bring Rabiot in? I don't think Rabiot will end up at Manchester United. He just gets linked to us all the time. We need it, here we go, we do. I mean, we were told 2 days ago we're probably going to get a Zirkzee, here we go, but it's been 48 hours and it's not happened. Even a loan with an obligation for Ugarte allows us more financial flexibility. Exactly. I think that would be a really good deal to do. Branthwaite doesn't have the status yet to really force his way out, which is true. But did Anthony, to be honest. And Shaw on the bench tonight. Yeah, Kobbie Mainoo is starting. Shaw is on the bench. I believe it's an unchanged 11. Big up Gaz. Big up everybody in the chat. Guys, we're 11 likes away from 400 likes. So please do go ahead and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. We're getting a few interesting updates coming in just now on Manchester United. I actually, you know what? I'm going to quickly get through the news that's come out just now. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to try and get it up on the screen for you guys. But a couple of stories have just dropped while we've been live, and this is all coming from the very credible Florian Plettenberg. So I just want to quickly dive into what Florian Plettenberg has said when he went on Stretford Paddock. He said there are talks about a deal structure for Manuel Ugarte. Maybe it's a loan, maybe it's an option to buy, maybe it's permanent. That's what we said earlier. They said if De Ligt was to leave Bayern Munich, it would be only for United because he loves Manchester United. They said that Leny Yoro has not made his mind up whether to join Man United or Real Madrid. Leny Yoro is considering a Man United move, essentially. It's also been said as well that a month ago, Antonio Silva was a big desired option for Manchester United, but I think the price tag has put Manchester United off Antonio Silva. But we went to Benfica games looking at both Antonio Silva and, of course, João Neves. So that's just some interesting news that's dropped right now by Florian Plettenberg, who's obviously a good and reliable source of information. Guys, let me know your score predictions for England-Netherlands in the chat, because the interesting thing about England-Netherlands game is Koeman is kind of the Dutch Southgate. England and Netherlands both have good players, but Netherlands have probably been a bit better than us scoring more goals, but I don't think Netherlands have looked particularly convincing either, and Netherlands fans are not happy with Koeman. So do let me know your thoughts down below as well. We could be on Zirkzee and De Ligt watch, although they're probably not playing as well. 2-1 England, 2-1 Netherlands, 0-2. I think it's got 1-1 extra time written all over it. David says 5-1 Netherlands. Really doesn't like England. 2-0 Holland. I just don't think Netherlands have looked great. I mean, gap posts look good, but I don't think Netherlands will look great, but we haven't looked great. Weghorst, you know what? Weghorst scoring will probably happen as well. Let's push for 500 likes, people. Close to the 500 like target. Let's push for it as well. What about Diamonde? Diamonde, man. I've always said we should look at Diamonde. Younger version of De Ligt, similar profile. Not touched it. Apparently, it's going to be 50 million as well, but we're not touching it. I get that, to be honest, De Ligt's a bit more experienced than Diamonde. He's won league titles and maybe want that element of experience. I get that. So yeah, we haven't looked at De Ligt. Very similar profile to Diamonde. I think what United want is De Ligt, Branthwaite, Leny Yoro, and Martinez to be the 4 centre backs. Like Man City have got Akanji, Diaz, Stones, and Guardiola and Ake. I think Man United just like, we want to have loads of good centre backs like Man City, because that's what Man City's done to win the league. Hard game, 2-1. I think it's a 2-1 to Netherlands or 2-1 to England. It's going to be 2-1 Netherlands or 2-1 England. I don't see a lot of goals because England don't score a lot of goals, but it's going to be a tight game. The Dutch Southgate versus the English Koeman. Try not to fall asleep. Leacher is DM this season. I doubt it. I think Leacher could potentially, let's say we sign 3 centre backs, there's potential for Leacher to be used at left back if there's injuries to Shaw as well. Diamonde is quicker than De Ligt, but De Ligt has big club experience, and that's what United have got to weigh out and question. Van Dijk own goal would be nice. If Liverpool players can stink it up and score some own goals, that'd be brilliant. Although if Trent could put in a brilliant performance if he gets on the pitch, amazing. I just want to see Trent a right back for England. I do. Walker defensively is solid, but going forward, he doesn't offer enough. And if we're not creating enough going forward, and you've got like the best creative player in the world in Trent, best sort of creative right back in the world in Trent, why don't we give him a go? I mean, Saka will be right wing back and we're going to be changing up, and that Saka was really, really good last game. But Southgate's changed his whole system to try and accommodate Phil Foden. And at the end of the day, look, Phil Foden's a good player, but he's not worth changing a whole system to try and accommodate. Like, in my opinion, he's not. So we'll have to see what happens there as well. 2-2, that could be interesting. Many top international sides have defensive pragmatic gaffers. Portugal, France, Netherlands, England, and Italy all looked pretty bad. Spain and Germany were the 2 best sides, and when Spain played Germany, that did feel like the final in a weird way. I do think Spain will win it. Spain deserve to win it just through the way they've been playing and look the most convincing. But if Southgate can do his version of Portugal when Portugal won the Euros and win it playing crap football, I do not care. If we win it playing crap football, we win it playing crap football as well. Netherlands aren't a massive offensive threat. Yeah, Depay's been stinking it up as well, so I think we should have a go. Leachy can invert his players, double pivot like Stones, step into midfield. Absolutely. If Ten Hag wants to try some Pep Guardiola tactics, he could do that with Leacher and other players as well. Pickford water bottle ready for pens. Is that his actual water bottle notes? Because the Sky's posting that. That's double agent against England as well. Hopefully Main on the score sheet. Do you know what? I want England to score goals, but if that goal comes from Maino, I won't lie. If Maino scores for England, I will be celebrating it 10 times harder than any other goal for England, because I've always been this way, club over country. I don't know why. Club over country for me, well, I do know why. I just love Man United a lot more. Club over country for me is the most important thing. But listen, people, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video and all of that stuff. I'm going to round up today's live show here just to give you a roundup of all the latest Manchester United news so you're up to date. I'm going to tell you everything that we discussed in today's live show in the next minute. So, what's been said? Pellistri to be sold, Sancho to be sold, Cazorla could be involved in a swap deal with Sancho, but personally, I don't see that happening. I don't see Cazorla-Sancho swap deal happening. And Ndoye has revealed that Manchester United are in pole position. Ndoye's agent has revealed that United are in pole position to sign him, but that came from the Sun, and we did have an approach with Desiree Doué. Man United have had talks with Desiree Doué and could make a move. Marseille's negotiations with Greenwood are slowing down. That deal could be off. Lazio are now making a move. Hopefully it goes through. Bologna are in talks about United about how to distribute the Zirkzee fee, and then that will be done. De Ligt is very close to a 42 million deal to Manchester United, and the agreement for the signing of Matthias De Ligt is getting closer. Man United have a plan to try and convince Yoro to come. Man United are going to try and, convince Yoro to come with game time. Lille pushing Yoro to join United. Lisandro Martinez is a guaranteed starter, but United maybe could give Yoro the verbal offer of saying you're going to be a guaranteed starter to convince him to come. Real Madrid still think they'll win the race to Euro, but Lille, when people are pushing him to join United, and Florian Plettenberg said just now he's not decided between United or Real Madrid. He is considering the Man United offer. Van der Gaag has left Man United. Man United is still in talks with Johnny Evans about a contract. So Mason Greenwood deal could be off, but let's see what happens there. Leny Yoro will have to wait and see what happens as well. And I don't think we'll be doing a swap deal with Sancho for Cazorla. Let me know your thoughts down below in the chat. Smash that like button, subscribe down below. Thank you for watching, guys, and bye.